No, this morning was cold, so I had a jumper on this morning. Um, and now 7:20, at 32 degrees. I'm just in a Fed Square. Djokovic playing. Just actually walked down to the shade. I'm not sort of on a bit of an angle, but I just wanted to get a bit of shade, get out of the sun. And I don't know what's the score. I think he's up 2 sets. I mean, yeah, it's pretty comfortable at the end of the day. I don't know who's he playing. No, was it Taylor Fritz? I think it was Taylor Fritz. Yeah. So yeah, sort of quite a long day, as usual. Start quite early. Yesterday was a busy day, so I went out to French Island. Just fantastic. Highly recommend French Island. In fact, I found out, yes, you can do a tour. You can do a tour of French Island and Phillip Island. They're quite close together. Runs through, I think, Explorer. So go to Explorer, and then you can do a tour. I think it was about two. I think it was 200 for the tour. And so you go to French Island. You do a 4-wheel drive around the island. You get out. You'll see a few koalas. And then you go to Phillip Island, see, I think, is it Knobby Rocks or something. So you drive around both islands, and then of course you get the penguins at night time. Phillip Island, very very popular, quite busy, very 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 tourist, but worth seeing. If you come to Melbourne, obviously during the tennis, you go to the tennis, you go to Phillip Island. I think French Island's a bonus. Just the fact that you will see koalas in the trees, and you get pretty close to koalas as well. And then ideally, Great Ocean Road. Great Ocean Road is not that long. So in fact, you could do it in a day. You see the 12 Apostles, the other sort of limestone, features, and then ideally you want to do a bit of a loop. So you get to where is it, Warrnambool or even Port Fairy? Is it Port Fairy? And then you sort of head north to the Grampians, and then you come back sort of to Melbourne. Also around the bay in a day is also worth doing. Yeah, there's just a lot in Melbourne and in Victoria. So I don't know how much time. Well, ideally a month, but then you got a week or two. Well, yeah, you just have to do the main sort of tourist things. But yeah, French Island, fantastic. Yeah, just the fact you get koalas. And koalas are not guaranteed. You could drive around Australia and not actually see a koala. So, and they got, the biggest population of koalas on French Island. So tennis, well, I don't know. It's pretty much formality, isn't it? I don't know. What is the scoreline? I can't actually. I don't know. Was it 3-love third set? I can't see the scoreline just on the angle that I'm on. But yeah, so I don't know. Final, what? I don't know. Alcaraz Djokovic final. I don't know who else is there. Tsitsipas, did he get knocked out? I saw Tsitsipas got knocked out. I haven't even been looking at the draw. I've just been just kind of been traveling every day. Well, obviously French Island. That was a long day yesterday. I was up at I was up 6 a.m. and then it took 2.5 hours to get to the island, and then it was a long walk around the island, and then 2.5 hours back again. And of course, getting up early mornings, getting the research done, getting the books written. I've got the conference. Yeah, so I've been accepted for the international conference, Mathematics Education, in July. I don't know, it runs every couple of years or something. And so it just happens to be in Sydney, which is, obviously works in quite well, and with my travels as well. And so I have been accepted for presentation, and I paid the registration today, and talking, of course, on tennis. And tennis is probably the best. In terms of teaching mathematics, tennis just works so well because everyone is just interested in tennis. Everyone plays tennis at a school level, and everyone is interested in tennis. They just follow tennis. They watch it. During the Australian Open, everyone just taps into the tennis. Not just in Australia, but globally, and Wimbledon time, of course, as well, and to some extent the other Grand Slams. So you're at least getting 4 weeks of the year of just tennis. That's all people do. They just watch tennis, Australian Open, and Wimbledon. and of course driven by the by the success of these top players breaking records. It's just all about breaking records at the end of the day. So yeah, tennis works well, and it just happens that if you just model a single game of tennis, I'll just put the square on the background. Yeah, if you model a single game of tennis, there's just so much mathematics you can unfold. So you can use algebra to calculate the chance of winning, assuming constant probabilities. You can use a binomial theorem, the boundary condition. You can just use a simple identity, or you can actually just use the sum of a geometric series. And also you can also graph. So it's got, if you just look at I guess the unbounded, obviously the probabilities have to be between 0 and 1. But if you just look at the unbounded graph, then you end up with 7 roots. So you get at 0, you get a root of a multiplicity 4. At 0, you also get 2 complex roots, of course, conjugate pairs, and you get another root for the deuce game. I think at 3 over 2, and so you can see 3 over 2 is outside the 0, 1 interval for probabilities. But it's quite interesting where you can get this sort of function, and yet you've got a 3 over 2 root rather than something a bit more sort of complex, like you get in, say, if you look at the no ad game, or I guess the 50-40 game, which we're looking to introduce into tennis. Yeah, and of course you get a turning point, or you get a minimum at p equals 0, and you also get a maximum at 1? Yeah, p equals 1. Yeah, you'll also get a maximum. And the interesting thing is, yes, if you calculate the integral between 0 and 1, because it's symmetric, the curve is symmetric about the square of area 1. And so you would expect to get a half, and that's what you get. So when you integrate the function, it doesn't matter. I think it's just sort of interesting. So it doesn't matter what game you use, whether it's the deuce, the no ad 50-40, or some other sort of variation. It's always going to be symmetric about a square of area 1, and so the integral will equal a half, which is interesting. So if you integrate some sort of complex function, you should end up with a half. So yes, so there's a whole range of mathematics. That's just a single game of tennis. And so looking to sort of extend on that, if you use say recursion formulas in an Excel spreadsheet, not even difficult to do. You can do this at a very a young age. Maybe in year 7. Yeah, you can actually model. You can actually model your own game of tennis using just recursive formulas in an Excel spreadsheet without even really understanding the mathematics involved. And by doing that, you can extend onto a set, and then onto a match, and then even look at, I don't know, the mean number of points and standard deviation and other moments or characteristics of your distribution. And so that's what I've typically done, and of course built this calculator, and that's where I've also built a prediction model as well, based on the top players affected by a court surface. So yeah, it is a process, but it can all be done in an Excel spreadsheet, and there's no program involved. That I think is a good thing about it, because once you introduce programming, you add in this sort of complexity of learning to program. I'm not even a programmer. I don't even know how to program. So I've always got other sort of programmers to the work when I have required programming. Okay, I might just have a look at the. Yeah, I mean, there's not really much to comment. When it comes to Djokovic, it's just formality. He's not going to lose to these sort of players. So, I mean, what is there to comment? I mean, he's kind of a robot. He just gets everything back. He'd probably just have, very minimal unforced errors. Obviously, very good on the return. So you're not typically getting a lot of free points off the serve. And hard court, well, yes, he just dominates on hard court. He just doesn't lose on hard court. Backed up by 10, or I don't know, it was 11 10 Australian Opens. So I guess just short behind the Nadal record, of course, 14 French. Will he get that? Well, I don't know, but But of course, yes, his US record is just not the level that he has at the Australian Open. No, exactly. Yes, it is a different surface. It does play at a different court speed. Typically, the US Open was playing faster than the Australian Open. I don't know if that is the case now. I don't know. I'm thinking even the Australian Open could be playing faster than the US. It is not consistent from year to year. You can adjust the speed by the way you paint the surface, I believe. And so, what factors consider the speed of the court? Well, if you look at the physics, the coefficient of friction and the coefficient of restitution, sort of the two main factors, where they're just typically formulas. So on say grass, which is fast, the ball just skids through. It stays low, it skids through. Compared to hard court, where it just sits up, so you get plenty of time to make a shot. So it's just the interaction when the ball hits the surface. That split second, of course, determines the court speed. Also the spin of the ball, and I think the angle of incidence on the spin. Yeah, I was talking to if you want to know more about the physics, we'll just go to there was a book written by Rod Cross and Hal Brody. A very good book. They are professors in physics and specialise in tennis, and wrote a book on the physics of the physics and technology of tennis. And I had a copy of that book. So and I did meet up. I think I collaborated with Rod Cross on a paper that I published. It wasn't on physics, but it was on sort of statistics. So yeah, I mean, pretty much all the information is available. It's just a matter of spending the time if you're interested in the physics of tennis or the court speed in particular. I can't actually see the scoreline from here. It's just sort of being blocked. Might actually stand on the stairs. Yeah, I was saying Leighton Hewitt. I just think I don't know. I just think he's boring as a commentator. I think Leighton Hewitt is just boring. He's just sort of he'll just take this data, and yes, he's probably correct on what he's saying, but he's just got no personality or humor when it comes to commentary. I just think he's boring. So same with Topovich. I think Korea is much better. I think John McEnroe. I thought Bruce I thought was very good. Most people did not like Bruce as a commentator. I actually thought he was quite good. He was very fluent, and also I don't know, he was sort of just rally off statistics, maybe it's just personal preference. The Roy and HD, well, that's just all comedy. Yeah, I saw them doing the tennis. They obviously know nothing about tennis, but that doesn't matter. I mean, just their comedy is just impressive in itself. Still drinking my Fanta. As you see, I've got the Colombian look today. Put on my Colombian cap and the neon glasses. My tennis glasses. Well, they're back in my locker in Sydney. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I need the tennis goggles. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe just drop a hat or something. Maybe a few dollars or something. Give me my commentary. with just wearing the tennis goggles and the Colombian cap. Yeah. Who plays tonight? Well, actually, this is probably on Rod Laver, so I don't know. Does that mean that the other matches are delayed? I guess so. I think Coco Gauff won. Coco Gauff won in 3 or 2 long tie breaks. They went to tie breaks and won the third set. And has that delayed the Rod Laver? And so, yes, there is a ladies' singles meant to be coming out, and also and then there'll be a men's match for the night session. Is it Rublev and I don't know, someone else? I think Rublev for the in the quarters for a spot into the semis. Yeah, so I'm going to be out. I'm actually meeting up with a Hawthorn Tennis Club actually on Sunday. I was out at a Hawthorn Tennis Club the other day, and now I'm going to the final, and I've got my ground pass. It's only $19. So you can see the final in this in obviously you can't see it in the Rod Laver, but you can see it on the garden enclosure. Men's final, $19. I just think that's fantastic. Of course, you could just come here to Fed Square, but I just think being at the venue but more to the point, yes, I'll be sort of meeting up with some of my sort of colleagues or people that I knew from Hawthorn Tennis Club when I played there back in 2002 to around about 2006. So I've been to 3 clubs. I started off Roseville Park Tennis Club, and then went to Hawthorn. So after I left Roseville Park, no, actually I went to Macquarie Uni. So I played for Macquarie University Tennis Club. Had a bit of success at Macquarie Uni, but that was sort of because of the other people in my team. I'd only probably win, I don't know, maybe one set a week. So, I don't know. I guess as a tennis player, yeah, maybe I actually wasn't that great after all. Oh well. I think I'm just lacking height, and of course I didn't exactly have a backhand either, so kind of makes it a little bit difficult. But yeah, played at Macquarie University. They played in a badge, but they don't have. They no longer have a club within. There are no clubs within Macquarie University. They just have courts. They still have the courts there. Having said that, they used to have courts at the gymnasium. They also had a Royal Tennis Club, and it no longer exists. I don't know why they got rid of that court. But Cheltenham Tennis Club, which is a grass court, I think it's even a croquet club, are now looking to build a Royal Club. So there will potentially be a Royal Tennis Club in Sydney. Of course, the main one being the Royal Melbourne Tennis Club. I was just out there the other day. I don't know. I actually met the pro there. So I don't know. He was apparently, I don't know whether he's world champion, but he was playing at the elite level. And yeah, I was just talking to him about I just can't recall his name, but I was talking to him about the history of the sport, where to visit. Potentially, I think Scotland Falkland Tennis Club in Scotland is the oldest club, which is still in play today, going back. A couple of kids there, sort of screaming, so I have to move. Yeah, so I think goes back to about, I don't know, I saw 1539 on the site on their website, but I think it may even go back to about 1500, or maybe even pre 1500, and 1490. I believe could be one of the oldest courts in the world, which still exists. Maybe it's not being played on, which of course is in France. So yeah, France are typically going to have the oldest courts because that's where the sort of the game originated. I guess it's interesting, yes. So before they played rackets, obviously they were just playing with their hand. That's why it's called, jeu de paume, the French for palm of the hand, which makes sense. So yeah, before rackets, your hand is a racket, and you just hit the ball. I come back. I think I lost connection momentarily, but yeah, typically yeah. So they were hitting the ball in royal tennis. Obviously, they were hitting the ball with their hand, and that's why you get the name, of course, jeu de paume, palm of the hand, the French word. So what was it, a full size court, or was it just sort of a single court where you're sort of hitting the ball just against a single wall? That's what I believe it would have sort of originated that way. Sort of somewhat like I guess handball. I know European handball's a little bit different, but I guess somewhat hitting the ball against the wall, which probably eventuated into a full size court, and then they probably somewhat introduced a net, and then I don't know, maybe changed the ball, and then brought in sort of rackets, and the racket technology has evolved over time, and then slightly, of course, changed to a lawn tennis back in, well, certainly 1877. Wimbledon was the start of lawn tennis. Of course, I was born in 1977, exactly 100 years after the start of tennis. But lawn tennis, it was obviously the first court is in London. I think it's a private house, so I don't think you can actually visit the court. I wanted to visit the court when I was in London, but I think it goes back to, I don't know, maybe about 1856 or something. And that's the way it's played. So they were always played on grass until even the French Open, and then they changed to clay, and then the synthetic surface of the hard court, typically the US, and then of course the Australian Open back in, I think it was 1988 when it was played at Kooyong, and then moved to Melbourne Park, which is where it is, of course, today. And that's when it changed from the grass at the Australian Open to I think it started as rebound ace, and now it's been changed to plexi cushion. I don't know the reasoning behind that exactly. You know what I mean? If you start changing court surfaces, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like if someone plays particularly well on rebound ace and maybe not on plexi cushion, are they sort of being disadvantaged? So, but again, I don't know exactly the reasoning, so I can't really comment too much. Obviously, it would have been a very sort of rigorous process if you're gonna change a court surface in a Grand Slam. The other surfaces, yes, there was acrylic. I don't think acrylic is used, and there was also carpet. I don't believe a carpet is used anymore. And so it makes sense. So you don't want to be having all these services. You just want to have the 4 services which use the Grand Slams. And I think that typically is the case now on the main tour. Although I think in the ITF circuit, that the satellite, that the kind of the junior, they do use, I think, carpet. So I think that should change. I think you only have the 4 surfaces. And so I don't know. Should then recreation be playing on synthetic grass? I don't think it's a problem. I think playing on synthetic grass is much better than, say, playing on a hard court, just due to injuries. You're obviously going to get the most number of injuries on hard court. Ideally, yes, playing on lawn on real grass, but it's a problem. The maintenance, the weather, and that is one of the problems with of course grass. And that could be due to the fact that there is, partly a lack of grass court tournaments. Also due to the fact that you only get, 2 weeks. Well, it's now 3 weeks between the end of the French and Wimbledon. But it's also, yes, it is due to the fact that there is that sort of maintenance issue, and also due to the weather. And so it'd be interesting. Could you just have, I don't know, some other synthetic surface to represent grass? Now, wood's interesting. So Royal Tennis was played on wood. So wood would probably play faster than grass. Could you have wood actually as a surface? And could that potentially replace grass? And the other thing is, could you then have a synthetic surface, which then replace grass altogether? Could you just have the one surface and you just adjust the court speed on this one surface? I don't know what it would be exactly. The other thing is you want sort of a little bit of cushioning as well. And the thing about grass is, yes, there is of course the dive volley. Now players don't typically use a dive volley, but it is an option. And of course Boris Becker, quite famous for the dive volley. And if you can perfect a dive volley, well, you're pretty much guaranteed to win the point. So that's why I think, I don't know, maybe that's why the grass has stayed, and also tradition. Wimbledon, of course, is tradition. Everything about it is tradition, and that's why they've obviously been reluctant to change the scoring system up until now, as a result of these, long 5th sets with the advantage set. And we saw that with the Isner Mahut match that took 11 hours to complete. It went over 3 days, and I think Isner won, was it 70-68 in the final advantage set. So yeah, it is a problem. And so they gradually just faded out the advantage set altogether. I think they started with the US Open's typically only played the tiebreak anyway. They've always played all tiebreak sets in the US Open, mainly because the tiebreak was invented in the US, and so that's sort of governed by the US the US a tennis committee. So it is a complex process. I think in tennis, just the fact that you got the different services, but the different services is good for the sport. Just due to the fact that obviously Rafa Nadal, he can only play on clay. He's one-dimensional, and he can only play on clay. I don't know. Djokovic for some reason can play on all surfaces. Federer, well, pretty much grass, and of course had a lot of success on the hard courts until Djokovic came on the scene. But yeah, he only won one French Open, so and he never beat Nadal in the French, Federer. So Yeah, he's pretty much grass, and of course, a Sampras, of course, grass as well. So, and that's a good thing is, yes, when you get players that only have a serve and don't really have ground strokes, well, grass is perfect. Absolutely perfect. And that's one of the good things is you can bring out your particular talent or your skill set within tennis, and maybe you don't have a serve. Well, like Nadal. Nadal does not really have a serve. He doesn't really get a lot of free points off the serve, and yet he can just dominate on the clay. And he doesn't exactly have height either. So it's not necessarily the case that you need height in tennis, and so that's driven by of course the different surfaces. And Djokovic, I think, is ideal. I think he's ideal height. He's ideal height. He's kind of ideal everything. Of course, he's vegetarian, vegan. Yes, he should be. He should be drinking milk, but he's typically vegan. I don't know. Maybe he's a robot. Yeah. And I don't know, the COVID, it didn't even affect his game. He's possibly been denied 3 slams due to COVID, and it hasn't affected his game at all. He just comes back and just keeps winning slams. He hit a linesman at the US Open, and even then, disqualified. I mean, even that was sort of questionable, but again, it didn't actually affect his game at all. So, I don't know. How old is he? 36? 4 more years? Could he get to? I don't know. It's very easy to speculate, of course. But yeah, he's on 24. He's going for the record at this. He's equal record with Margaret Court. Wins the Australian Open. He's pretty much cleaned up this match. Get to the semis. So only 2 matches to claim the 25, and he should achieve it at this Australian Open. And I guess I'll be giving my commentary at Melbourne Park, so I think that's quite a good thing. Yeah, should I've got a ticket? Well, it was pretty expensive. I thought it was over $1,000. I don't know. I saw it at 1,500. I think the cheapest seats sold out quite early, as you would expect. The cheapest seats may have been, I don't know, 500 or even. I was speaking to someone. They said it was about 350, but it's right at the back. You don't see anything. So could you buy a ticket now? Well, you probably could, but you could be looking, I don't know, thousands. So. I don't know, 20 years ago, you could have easily got a finals ticket, probably $100 and even a pretty good. So it's just the way it's become just so commercial now. But that's just typically the way things are. But yeah, I don't know. You can just get an after 5 ground pass. First, second round, $29. I've got a finals ticket to the Garden Enclosure, $90. Of course, I won't see any live matches. But yeah, first, second round, $29. And it's great, yeah. But if you want to go to an arena, yes, you have to pay a lot more. Oh no, sorry, no, don't. No. Some guy was just asking me whether I had a lighter. He thought I was smoking a cigarette or something. I don't know. You get all types at the end of the day. I don't know. What's the scoreline now? I can't even see. Oh.
Producing some incredible returns as well. Look at this, he's taking up such an aggressive position here in set 3 as opposed to set 2. The times the ones down well. Have a look at that now. It's going to look to switch and start to dictate traffic. So now we're talking about legacy of the goal on speed that is going from first. Yeah, so it's getting a little bit of doing second service, so I was able to do it really offensive early in rounds. Much better.
Yeah, so the Olympics in Paris. I don't know when they're scheduled. Is it mid-year September? I don't know, but yeah. But yeah, if you want to, in Europe, I know you might as well just go to the Olympics. Of course, the Olympics 32 in Brisbane. Potentially go, but it's pretty problem. You have to get flights, you have to get accommodation, you have to get tickets. It goes into a ballot. To Sydney, everyone just wanted to see the Olympics, and it went into a ballot. And I don't know. I did get a ticket. I went to the athletics, which was good, but I didn't get the main athletics. I didn't see Kathy Freeman running or the 10,000 meter, or the 100-meter final. I think I did see a couple of finals, but it wasn't particularly the best sort of night for finals in terms of seeing the 100-meter or Kathy Freeman in the 400 or the 10,000 meter. Who's that guy from Ethiopia? I don't know. He's just dominate 10,000 meters. Gebre Selassie, was it? I think so. Yeah. And of course, that was the year. Yeah, that was the year that Usain Bolt. I don't know if he broke the world records, but yeah, he won the 100, 200. Probably won the fight. Yeah, and it would have been in the relay final as well. So he would have got 3 gold. And of course, Michael Phelps 8 gold at the 2000 Olympics, or five individual and 3 teams. So 8 gold for Michael Phelps. I don't know. Is Michael Phelps goat? I mean, I don't know if you can really top that effort. I mean, 8 gold. I mean, it's just difficult in the day. Can you start comparing sports? Can you start to say, well, this guy in this sport is better than someone else in another sport? Can you compare a Michael Phelps to a Novak Djokovic, for example? It's just pretty difficult. I mean, I don't know why people can't accept that. Yeah, you just have the best in each sport, and even then, it's pretty difficult. As you know, with tennis alone, how difficult it is just to determine the best player just in tennis. Of course, I'm having to stand again because there aren't any seats. You will not get a seat at the at Federation Square, unless you'd have to get here pretty early mornings just to claim your seat. ¿Quieres una pizza? Vale, pero compra de cuánto.
Gracias. Estaba proteína. Nana, send me pictures. These one. You took it? All of them. Oh, no. I want to see our home.
Oh, hang on. No, it's took the second set. I didn't realize. Yeah, that's why it's gone to a fourth. Yeah, I can't actually see the. It's hard to see the scoreboard. But yeah, I guess Djokovic every now and then kind of does lose a set. Could have been good actually watching the Diminar match. Just the way that sort of unfolded, but I don't know. I kind of need a bit of setup. I can't just be standing the whole time. I kind of would need a seat. So plus I'm holding this phone, and just becomes a bit of effort. Just to hold it in front of you for a long period of time is kind of requires just a bit of effort in itself. I don't exactly have a studio.
Looks like
So, has Djokovic got any weaknesses? Well, I guess he served. I mean, I guess he's not typically hitting a lot of aces. Is he getting a lot of free points? I mean, off the serve, I guess not. So I guess he could possibly just improve on the serve, but maybe lacking a bit of height in order to do that. Is his action very good? I mean, it's solid, but I don't know. Does he bounce the ball a lot like he used to? Maybe not anymore. And also, I don't know, his net game, probably not that great. He doesn't typically come to the net. Does he need to come to the net? Well, I think yes. I think, well, at least game theory, you should be serving bowling a proportion of the time. So I think he should come to the net a little bit more. Is he effective at the net? I don't know. Maybe he's not one of the better serving bowlers. So I don't know. Maybe you just can't have everything in a game. And maybe that's why he does lose the occasional Grand Slams. Like he did lose Wimbledon to Alcaraz, which was played on grass. Whereas, yes, if he had a better serve and a volley, then you're not going to lose on grass, because that's what typical grass play is. It is serve and volley tennis if you are good at it. Pete Sampras, for example. How dominant was Pete Sampras on grass? Yes, anyway, he won 7 compared to Roger Federer 8. What's Djokovic on? Is he on 8 or 7 Wimbledons? But Sampras retired at 32, so he didn't play as long as Roger Federer or Okay, yeah, back. It just sort of cuts out. I don't know. I don't know whether this is using Wi-Fi or whether this is my Telstra coverage. It may be using the Wi-Fi, just due to the fact that I can't get Telstra coverage. Maybe at Fed Square I have to use the Wi-Fi, and of course the Wi-Fi is not always going to be reliable, and that's why I temporarily cut out. I noticed the match. So the night match means Sinner, Rublev. Who's the favorite? I look at my predictions, and of course my predictions are kind of outdated anyway. But whether I whether I use my calculator, set that up at the cinema in the hostel, and give sort of live predictions. Could be achievable. Maybe I'll trial that. See, it's just see how it goes. I could do that, but the thing is, I want to be sort of streaming the whole time. How am I going to sort of? Maybe I need a stand for my mobile. I think I need a stand. I don't want to be holding it. I need to kind of set it up. Well, the other thing is, unless I just stream it through the laptop, maybe I just do that. Maybe I'll just restream through the laptop itself. Won't use the phone, and just switch between the calculator and the predictions. I think that's what I'll do. So hopefully I can get that kind of set up. Temperature though, I don't know, still must be in the 30s. At least there's no sun, but humidity is not that bad. But yeah, it just gets hot in Melbourne in the summertime. But this morning it was cold, so 4 seasons, 1 day, Melbourne. Maybe it'll be raining in an hour. Snow? Well, no, it doesn't actually get snow even in the winter. You have to go to the Alps if you want to get snow. In fact, Australia in general doesn't really get much snow anyway. So yeah, maybe go to, I don't know, Europe. Oh no, New Zealand. Yeah, go to New Zealand, South Island. And yeah, a lot of snow, and of course the skiing's much better there anyway. I've never been skiing in New Zealand. I can't really ski that well anyway. So, but personally, I'd actually prefer cross country. I think if you are recreational cross country, it's just more comfortable. You don't have to worry about, I don't know, going on chairlifts and getting to the top, and it's just so cold on the chairlift. The chairlift breaks down, and yeah, I think downhill's good, but I think cross country is worth doing. Or maybe when you go skiing, you do 1 day downhill, take a break for a day, 1 day cross country, and then I don't know, maybe 1 day a snowboarding. I think snowboarding is good, but you have to be good at it. Otherwise, you're just going to be falling over the whole time, like I was. But yeah, if you can snowboard, it's good. But personally, probably cross country, and it's also very cheap to go cross country because you're not paying for the cost of the whole resort and using the chairlift and so on. So I did go cross country at, where was it? Lake Mountain, which is near is it Marsfield? I think it's Marsfield. What am I thinking of? No, I don't know. I did go cross country. It wasn't very far from Melbourne. It was probably only a couple of hours from Melbourne, and you can go cross country. It's probably the best cross country resort in Australia. In Lake Mountain, and it was good, yeah. And I have been snowboarding, not for long. Just the fact I was just falling over the whole time. Done quite a bit of downhill, but I haven't been skiing for a long time, at least in terms of downhill, and I might not even bother. Yeah, I mean, having said that, I haven't really played tennis for a long time either. Maybe pickleball. Yeah, I'm thinking pickleball, and I think pickleball, I don't know. It could be kind of the contemporary or the version of taking over from tennis. It is the fastest growing sport in the US, and everyone's just playing pickleball now. I think it's just maybe it's more fun. Tennis is just difficult, or maybe that's a problem with it. Whereas pickleball, yeah, I think it's just easier to play pickleball than tennis. Pickleball, you're not hitting with topspin. You just cutting the ball. You just kind of, I wouldn't say you're slicing. You're just kind of cutting it. But you're not playing with topspin. So playing with topspin is difficult, and you're not serving either. And you're not having to learn the technical, volleys, and it's very technical tennis in just learning the various shots. Whereas pickleball, you can play some pickleball. Obviously, I adapted to pickleball, just the fact that I had played tennis. But I think even a recreational player could pretty much adapt easier to pickleball than they could to tennis. Table tennis is technical. Badminton, these squash, these racket sports. Unless you're playing at a good level, is it really fun? I mean, you know what I mean? Like, if you're going to be playing a lot, you want to be sort of playing and getting to a reasonable level where you can sort of have a game and be somewhat competitive. That's what makes, I think, sport fun, when you are playing at a reasonable level. I mean, I don't know, go on the golf course. If you can't even hit the ball, is there really much point playing golf? Yeah, it's just so. But yeah, I agree. It's worth trying different sports, but I think it's also worth getting to a reasonable level at some of these sports as well, because you just enjoy it a lot more, even at a recreational, social level. Okay, I think I might just log off now. I don't know. Yeah, I just holding this phone is becoming a bit of an effort. So I think I'll just log off. Yep.